and I was able to change my body chemistry to the point where I no longer have to wear deodorant and I don't have to use soap or anything. I literally, it just, I don't know how it happened, but it just happened. And here we are.
I don't know. There's also that thing where you become accustomed to not being smelled by other people, and then I think that becomes kind of like a problem there in the pandemic world. Hi, Bridget.
Did I miss the memo?
What's going on, Bridget?
Was the theme like
one?
What's happening? How are you?
Just living the COVID dream. How about you?
Things are awesome. Things are awesome. And listen, I'm really glad we're here tonight. So here we are. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to try to kick this thing off. Bridget, I'm all
Matrix
askew.
4, Matrix 4, 2021.
2021. Sorry, had to do it, Stephen. Stephen,
yes.
Stephen. Happy Wednesday night, you guys. Glad you're here. Nice to see you guys Wednesday night. As always, it's just like a unbelievable party-like atmosphere here on the social feeds, and I see messages coming in already. So it's incredible to see people here and joining us, and there are people in the stream. So I think we should get going because I think we made a really big promise. We made a huge promise for tonight.
15.
We did 15.
We said, you guys have your coffee? You guys ready to go? Anybody else?
I don't have my coffee. Oh, wait, one second.
It may not be Dr. Pepper. Mine might be Dr. Pepper, but it looks like coffee, so it'll work.
All right. We'll let her get her coffee. I've got my coffee here. I'm ready to go. So, Stephen, nice to see you. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Glad
you're here. And we're already getting commands from the crowd to let's roll. So I really do think we do need to roll, and
let's do it.
I am ready to do that. Here we go. Welcome back.
I'm here.
All right, guys. So you know what? Instead of the normal chit chat that we do, because I just can't even imagine how we're going to get through 15 habits, tiny habits that people could start to implement in their lives right now to improve business and life in 2021. I don't even know how we're going to manage to pull that off in a half an hour, but we can do it.
Absolutely, we can.
Oh, poor Bridget. Look at her. Look at her frozen there. Look at that. Are we all frozen? Stephen, you and I should just, you know what we should do when she comes back? Let's freeze. We'll just freeze in place when she comes back. Oh, she's totally gone. All right, ready?
What just happened?
Oh no, welcome back. Okay. I know. It's just weird. It's just weird in general. So tonight we're talking about 15 tiny habits that you can implement right away. And I actually am drawing, and we each have 5 of them because there's 3 of us, so we each have 5 of them. So I'm going to start, and I really do believe that this is a business habit that I'm going to share with you right now, and it is that you should go for walks twice a day. And I was talking to a client about this week. She is just she's phenomenal. And I was talking to her this week, and I was like, she's like, I'm having such a hard time staying focused. I'm having a hard time, keeping things organized. And I said, you know what you need to do? You need to go for a walk, and you need to clear your mind. And she's like, well, I do go for a walk, once a day. I'm like, I want you to split it and go twice a day, and just get out, get the fresh air, get the blood flowing, right? Get the endorphins going, get the proteins in the blood that go into the brain, make the brain think better. And when you can do that, it's so simple. Just go for a walk at lunchtime, and your brain is going to reset. So tip number 1 is to get a little more exercise or walk a little bit more.
Yeah, I will tell you, I work in an office, and and I have like it's almost like if there was like a doctor's sheet with like things that like these things will keep Steven alive, you know, and like comic books and movies are like right up here, you know, near the top. This walk is like right underneath the comic books and the movies, you know, like it's like no, I really truly believe that that the walks like truly help. It's where I think and I process and and that's just we've talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fantastic idea. But what about those people who have icicles on their ceiling fans in Texas? How many people all those people who are in winter right now and can't just go for a walk without dressing for 10 minutes?
You're telling me that there are people outside of Florida, Bridget? Is that what you're telling me right now?
I don't know. Shout out to those people. Anyone?
And it gets cold out there
now. I don't want to talk about that, Steven Steffen. But however, I saw an article with icicles on someone's ceiling fan in Texas. But what I want to take note of is you're 100% right, Chris. You need to get that blood pumping. So get a jump rope and start jump roping in your virtual office, you know?
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. You've got to break from the computer, break from the work, and you've got to do something. Now, listen, unless your job is like a jump rope salesman or, you know, a jump rope salesperson. If that's your job, take a break, go on Facebook. But for everybody else, you got to just take the break. All right. Tip number 1, you've got to get more exercise. Okay. What's going on, Bridget? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at Larry saying I have a ceiling fan on my icicles. What?
I don't know what that means.
Icicles on the ceiling fan or ceiling fan or icicles?
I don't even know what that means. But it's not a tip. So we got to get back to the tips.
Yes.
Bridget, share with us a tip. Share with us a habit.
You're number one, Bridget.
My number 1, I got to be honest, it's clearing that mental clutter. Lots of entrepreneurs that I partner with, it's always about, I don't know where to go next. And I say, whoa, pause with a purpose. Get a pen to paper. And Chris, you and I have talked about it, how important it is to clear that head trash and to get into a clear headspace so you can even figure out how you're going to approach your day. So I suggest a brain dump. Set a 2-minute timer. Stephanie knows, we've talked about the brain dump. And just start emptying. Odin knows.
Awesome.
Start emptying that head trash out. Write out exactly what you're experiencing, exactly what you're feeling in the moment so that you can get clear.
I think that's beautiful. That's excellent. I'm going to share a bonus tip right now before we go to Steven. This is a bonus tip that everyone here you'll be able to use this. If you have a dog and the dog barks at an inappropriate moment when you're on a call like this, you have to train yourself not to react. And then you train yourself not to react, and you go just like this. You go, who's got a dog?
Yeah. What? Was there something?
They have
Was there a sound that you were hearing? Yeah.
They have no idea that it's you. You just go, oh, who's got a dog? Yeah. Simple as that.
It works really well with those glasses on. You've sold me on the fact that a dog didn't even bark. Like I might be going crazy. A dog didn't even bark there.
These aren't sunglasses.
So my number one is be pinpointed and shoot straight. And I'm gonna give you guys the arrow analogy because and some of these are going to be general. Some of my tips are going to be very concrete, but I was talking, shout out to Lucas and Jared. Okay. 2 of my favorite guys that I work with. I love everyone that I work with, but these 2, we were talking about marketing, and Lucas specifically had this incredible analogy, and he was talking about an arrow, and he's like, marketing is really, you got to be like an arrow. If you aim that arrow up and try to arc that arrow, that gives your person more time to get out of the way. But if you're pinpointed and you keep that arrow straight, if you're a straight shooter with some of your marketing and you get to the point quickly, and what really matters and the crux of the matter, I think you bear a stronger chance at them not getting out of the way, at them not just brushing it off, at them. And this is a habit. It might not sound like a habit, but this is a habit that we have to get into.
That totally sounds like a habit to me. Yeah, it totally does. Very good. All right, guys, we've gotten through 3. Everybody who's just joining us, we're talking about the 15. What are you laughing at, Bridget?
Sorry, I muted myself for a second. I'm just looking at our interesting comments from people who are joining us. They totally just made me
Dogs, glasses, and cups. Awesome.
I don't even know what that means, the dog barks at midnight. Maybe Eileen can tell me, DM me later, Eileen. I don't know what that means.
The dog barks at midnight.
So, for everybody just joining us, we are talking about the 15 tiny habits that you can make that are going to improve your business and your life in 21. We've
Yes.
one, we've covered a. So the next one is, ready for this? Bridget, you talked about reducing the mental clutter. You have got to now. You've got to remove the noise in your life. You have noise in your life, and you have got to get rid of that noise. Now, here I'm going to give you a couple examples of what noise in your life is, and I'm going to start with the one that is the absolute hardest to get rid of, and that is all of you people out there who are addicted to watching the news. I don't know what is going on with you people who are watching this, you get up in the morning and you turn on the news, and then it just like cycles all day long because I don't even know what they are, but there are 24-hour news stations. You've got to get that noise out because here's what's happening. You okay, Bridget? Am I too much?
No, I'm a little distracted because I'm confused. Are you trying to be like that guy from Twilight or from The Matrix? I was listening, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, who does Chris look like?
Does he sparkle? Does he sparkle in the sun?
He's kind of twinkling right now.
That's why we only do this thing at night.
There's a twinkle. There's a twinkle. When the dog barks at
I'm
midnight.
sorry. Go on.
Listen,
Sharing.
Listen, all you people who are addicted to the news, you have got to shut that stuff off because that they are manipulating you. They're manipulating behavior. They're manipulating your brain, and all they're trying to do is hold you till the next commercial break. And that's all they're trying to do is just hold you there till the next commercial break. And they'll say whatever they need to say to get you there. Even if it's like, even the weather, even though those weather stations will do this to you, you have got to get rid of that noise. There's so much noise in your life. You've got to get rid of the news noise. You've got to discipline yourself to turn that off. And yet another conversation I had with a client this week, and she was like, I need to be more like you. I need to shut off the news. We in this household, we own a TV. That thing does not come on. It comes on for Patriot games, and that's it.
And how much news influenced social media content do you guys see getting produced on a daily, weekly basis? Because I see a lot.
Yep.
I see a lot of social media content getting generated from that. Come up with what you have to say, not what the news had to say.
Yeah. Listen, it just pollutes your brain.
Yes.
Well,
Terry couldn't agree more. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful. Terry, thank you. Darling, thank you.
So that actually leads to my next tip. Is it okay if I share?
This is Bridget, how many times have we done this performance? We're here for this.
You have to share.
Permission because I like to hear. Bridget, we would love to hear what you have to say.
We would love to.
I want to know that you're listening.
Before you start yours, I'd love to hear what you have to say.
So this is a very simple way to level up in your life and your business. And it's just ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question, how does this serve me in making my goals happen? How does this serve me in aligning with my vision? When you're watching the news, when you accidentally turn it on and start looking at, Texas is freezing and, there's global warming's happening and whatever else is going on in the world, ask yourself, what is the goal and how is this serving me in my life and my business? And don't be afraid to actually answer because oftentimes we just get lost in allowing everything to influence us. And so to become the influencer in your life, you have to be able to ask yourself the question.
Pair that with what I just said about turning off the news. And that's a beautiful combination of something that is going to help propel you forward, and something that I do in my life. And in fact, I had somebody at the beginning of the pandemic, this dude I know, he messaged me and he asked me what I thought. I'm like, I don't think anything. I don't think anything about it. I am thinking about my job. I'm thinking about my clients. And he literally, that was the last words he ever spoke to me. He was done. He like wrote me off. He unfriended me because I wouldn't engage in a conversation about news topics. He unfriended and blocked me. I don't know if he blocked me. He unfriended me for sure. He might be watching this right now. He knows who he is. And you know what? He's going to live with that, not me.
I just wanted to extend the
Did a nice little.
haven't talked to you in a year. Still not watching the news. Nothing I can do. Steven, how about for you?
For me, so my second one here is so my second one here is reverse engineer and speak to the woes that keep your potential clients up at night. And that and this is another habit. This actually, so my father owned a company, and this is actually from one of his marketing pieces and his company, believe it or not, dealt with cell phone information and getting the bill and stuff like that. But a lot of those people were worried about their businesses and can they process all the information. So, one of his marketing slogans was, "We know what keeps you up at night." And and that really stuck with me, because what he was trying to play on is that we care about your greatest worries in respect to the product that we provide. So if you're a real estate agent, that might be property, but it doesn't mean that those people don't have very serious worries about the services that you can help them with. And if you speak to those and begin the habit of speaking to those and engaging with those, I think that person will feel very acknowledged. And that's the habit that I'm really looking to get into more.
I think that's absolutely brilliant. Bridget, what do you think about that?
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And what it was reminding me of, well, the first thing it reminded me of was that billboard, "Your wife is hot, better get your AC fixed." That was the first thing I thought of. Secondly, was speaking to your clients and your customers' internal terrain. Speaking into their thought life, their feelings, their emotions, and realizing what they're struggling with. And so that actually leads me to another tip, is when you're engaging with clients, when you're talking to the people that you partner with to add value to, it's so important to break out of the business box. And break out of the business box. Shift how you think about how you're connecting with people. Engage your humanity. Mm-hmm. Realize that, you being in this professional setting, realize that you have limiting beliefs. There are certain things you can't say to people. What if you actually said, "Hey, how can I empower you today?" When you're meeting with a client to, give them a new printer, shift how you think of business and break out of the business box with your communication.
I'm going to break for a second and let you know we're talking about the 15 small habits that you can implement right now that are going to make your business and your life better in 2021. And from that, I just want to introduce you to Joel. And Joel chimed in on mine where I said, don't watch TV. Turn that nonsense off. But I want to introduce you to Joel. You see him in the comments. And truly, if you're participating in this in any way, scroll through those comments and find that dude and connect with him. This guy has got the most brilliant mind you're ever going to meet. You know what I mean, Bridget. You've met this guy.
I talked to him yesterday.
This guy, I truly believe that this man has multiple brains in multiple locations, and they all just send information to a central brain. This guy is so smart, so unbelievable.
Like yours.
What's that?
He probably has glasses like yours.
You know what? This guy would look better in these glasses than I do. That's for sure. You know what he says? You know what he says to me? And this is my third tip. And he says this to me every time I call him up. I'm like, "Hey, Joel, how you doing?" And he goes, you know what he says? When I say, "How you doing?" He goes, "Thankful." That's what he says. I go, and he's like, just in this peaceful way. I'm like, "Hey, Joel, how are you?" He's like, "Thankful." Just like that. He just says it like that. And it's so unbelievably potent to have gratitude and be thankful for the stuff that's around you. And he is just grateful and thankful at all times. So tip number 3 for me, acknowledge how grateful and thankful you are for all of those things around you. Shut off that stuff that you're not thankful and you're not grateful for. Just really just focus on that stuff that you are grateful for, and you're going to attract more of it in your life. Take a lesson from Joel. That guy is a genius. I think you snuck in a third one in a comment just a minute ago. I feel like we're kind of out of order, but I'm going to send it on down to the bottom box, Mr. Stephen Carroll.
So my third comes from I have a best friend who is in the Air Force right now, and we talk a lot over the phone, and we talk a lot about the training that he goes through, and it's fascinating to see a lot of the training that they go through. But one of the things that he was talking about today that I loved, that I had to include, is learn to go with your first choice. Don't second guess yourself. So so when you're taking a test, okay, and you know how you'll write something down and you'll want to go back and check your work. You want to go back and do these things and change answers. That, of course, becomes a habit in and of itself until 30 years after that habit has been reinforced, you're second guessing yourself about everything. And so to combat that, when we're in dire situations, we need to train ourselves to learn to act with instinctive decisiveness, meaning making decisions quickly, going with your gut, learning to make that first decision your best decision. And I think that is something, when I heard that being talked about, I was like, wow, like I want to do that. Like I want to make that a habit. So brilliant.
Like Bridget's almost floored by that one, Bridget. Look at your face.
Instinctive decisiveness. It sounds powerful.
It does, really doesn't it? And for the record, everyone, I am the biggest second guesser. You'll see me like be paralyzed, by decision making. And so that's why that would probably be a one of the habits that I want to get into big time. But yeah.
Is it true that you second guess coming on our performance every week?
Every night I sit here and I wonder, am I going to click the button or am I not?
Oh, stop it. You don't.
No, some things I fall into, and I don't have to second guess them, and that's
Steven,
been this.
Brilliant. Let me ask you a quick question, Stephen. Your bed made?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. About 14 weeks ago, Stephen told us that he makes his bed like 5 times a day or something like that.
I kind of do. I won't lie.
Tip number 4 from me, Bridget, you're going to love this one. Tip number 4 from me is to engage the 5 senses in everything that you do.
I do love that.
I know. You've got to engage the 5 senses in everything you do. In particular, and listen to me, you guys are going to think you're going to think this is crazy. I don't care. I don't care if you think it's crazy.
I know.
I don't care if you think it's crazy. You don't like my glasses, do you?
Listen, Neo, I'm ready to get out of the break from you.
Yeah.
I'm ready. That's what we're doing here right now. We're breaking people free of that matrix.
Absolutely.
I was really going for a Twilight vibe, not a Matrix vibe. I think I completely missed that. Yeah. Completely missed that. Engage the 5 senses in everything you do, in particular in business. Let me tell you how much better somebody told me this week, they said, do you know your computer shakes all the time while you're on your live? I'm like, well, of course it shakes, because I'm always like hitting and I'm like jumping around. I could be 10 feet away from this thing and it's still going to vibrate.
Yes.
Engage the 5 senses in everything that you do. So here's what I mean by that. You go into work, make sure your place smells good, okay? Find a way to make sure it smells good. Make sure you smell good. So that when you're sitting here working, just be clean, have clean clothes, put on clean clothes so that you don't stink, right? You don't get the body odor reeking you, right? Your place smells good. You got the smelly dog, give it a bath, okay? So you got the good smelling place, right? Put on the music that you like while you're working. It is on constantly here. Everybody, the people who know me know that I put on a song on repeat for days and days and days. Just the way it works. Have the hearing good. Drink something that you enjoy, even if it's like this magic water that Larry, Magic Water Larry smells. drink something so you get the flavor, so you get, you know, that sense. You should have a comfortable environment, wearing comfortable clothes so that you feel, you know, your sense of touch is elevated. You know, what did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure there's one I missed, but there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got them all. I got all the senses.
You did. Sight. Did you say sight? I don't think you said sight.
Your environment should be something that you enjoy looking at. Moreover, and look, it's hard to do for some people, but try to face a window that you're looking out at something beautiful. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're engaging all of the senses at the same time. It smells good. You're tasting things that taste good. Your clothes feel good. You're listening to stuff you like, and you're seeing something that is pleasurable. I have a palm tree right outside that freaking window right over there that I get to look at. Sorry, Bridget, looking at the snowstorm. Listen, when you engage the 5 senses, it elevates everything that you do, and that is going. How does that relate to business? That relates everything to business. Go ahead, Bridget.
That's huge. And I'm actually going to piggyback off of that, because it's important for you in your business to have anchors that anchor you into those spaces, those ideas that you want to be. Who are you being when you launch into speaking to people in your business and your life? And so, for example, I know those of you, I'm sure Larry's heard me say this, I have a pen always with me, because that, as a mindset and strategy coach, reminds me that I am a powerful influencer, a master connector, and a master relationship builder. So you want to choose an anchor that reminds you of who you want to be when you get on ready, when you get into that game on mentality. So engage your 5 senses, but also have anchors to remind you, to get you mentally prepared in the right mindset to launch into your day. So like the white blazer, you know, Larry's wear a white blazer tomorrow, Kagan water, you know,
Boom.
white blazer, boom.
Incredible.
Anchors.
Beautiful. Beautifully put.
I
Stephen,
love
number
that.
4 for you.
It reminds me of the totems from the movie Inception. They keep these little totems around to remind them if they're in a dream or not, you know, and it reminds me of that a little bit, which, you know,
It's a
what
little
would
bit.
the show be like if I didn't make a movie reference?
That's so true. Stephen, we have 3 minutes to go before the bottom of the hour. This thing done.
Let's go through these fast. Run number 4, I think. Build a marketable habitat, guys. We talked about this. Make sure your space is good to you. Make sure your space is good for taking pictures for Facebook on, because I'm telling you right now, I have seen some incredibly marketable workspaces lately. Like, we're talking spaces that look like an Apple store combined with an IKEA, combined with like the coolest little clothing store you've ever been in. It's a workspace, you know, there it is, you know. Maybe have Baby Yoda drawn on one of the whiteboards. I don't know, but ultimately make sure that you do that so that it'll motivate you to take pictures in your workspace and post them. You won't be motivated if your workspace is crazy looking.
I'm going to draw a line in the sand right now. It's time to stop the fake backgrounds.
Oh, please. Yes.
We've had enough. We've had enough.
Yeah.
That's a
We
whole,
know they're
that's a
fake.
whole nother
We
show.
always do.
I'm
We
gonna
always
dog you
knew
that.
they were
That's a
fake.
whole nother show. We've had enough of
Yeah.
this. We have had enough of this nonsense.
Yeah.
Clean up, tidy up. Oh, well, that's a whole nother show. Okay.
Yeah.
We've gotten through 12. Stephen, I'm gonna have you go again. Give us number 5 for you.
Number 5, carry your work journal everywhere you go, guys. And don't just write work stuff in it. Write your thoughts, your feelings, your passions in it. Blend your passions, blend your work, and carry that journal everywhere you go, not just for you, but to show everyone else that you're carrying your work everywhere. It's always with you. People will wonder, like, why does he carry that journal everywhere? He must be writing something down important, you know? I promise you, that'll be a great marketing habit.
That's unbelievable. We've been talking about the 15 habits that you can implement right away that are going to make 2021 better for you in business and in life. We have shared 13 habits so far. I've got one more. Bridget, you're going to bring the show home. And the last one for me is very simple. You can do, you all, every single one of you listening to this right now, I see you all out there. You can do, look at, I can see you. Plan tomorrow today. Plan, that's it. 3 words. Plan tomorrow today. Bridget, we have 1 minute. That's it. Listen, I don't need to explain that anymore. These people are brilliant. We have some of the smartest people. We have some of the smartest people here. They're asking us to make the show an hour. Okay, we're not doing it. If we made the show an hour today, we wouldn't have anything to talk about next week.
Bingo.
So this is going to be a game changer because we have to throw some creativity in there. So I want you to choose a new theme for your day to get inspired by every single day. So choose tomorrow, maybe make your theme empowerment. The next day, make your theme influence. And then start allowing that to.
Whoa. I have no idea what just happened. And I don't even know what in the world. Like,
Hold on. Why am I the one? So stay inspired. Choose a new theme for your business every day so you don't get into that lull. You don't get to that place where you feel stuck. Get creative.
unbelievable. Stephen, thanks for being with us here again. As always, my dear friend, such valuable insights.
Thank you, guys.
And
Thank
for
you,
everybody
guys.
who joined us tonight, contributed in the chat, great to have you here. Hashtag goals, hashtag whatever, hashtag habits, hashtag Bridget Becker.
Hashtag what is the
hashtag
matrix?
whatever you want. But I am grateful for every single one of you for being here with us today. Go start to work on these habits. Make 2021 incredible for you. And as always, Bridget, bring it home.
Thank you for joining us tonight. And remember, it is time to level up.